So when I was in grade 3, I started homeschooling for the very first time, and I continued homeschooling until I got through grade 9. And over that time of homeschooling, I kind of had a lot of different things happen to me, and I was just ready to try something different by the time I was starting grade 9. I just wanted to have something new, and I didn't really have many friends, so I wanted to be able to put myself in an entirely new environment with new people and just kind of experience something really different. And so my mom had also kind of noticed that I was ready for something different as well, so we talked about it, and together we decided that I was going to apply to come to this school, Abbotsford Christian School. And so we applied to come to this school, and then as time went on, I kind of didn't really think about it that much. And then when I did hear that I got accepted to come to this school, I was very surprised actually. One, because I know that this school has a really long wait list, so I wasn't entirely expecting that I would get into this school right away. And then 2, because it just wasn't something that I'd been thinking about that much. I kind of applied, and then that was pretty much it. I didn't really think about what would happen if I actually got accepted into the school. But now that I was just really excited that I would get to have something different and to just be able to experience something entirely new than from what I'd been doing for the past 7 years with my homeschooling. But as kind of we got closer to the very first day of school, I just started to begin to get a little bit nervous because I was worried about having to adjust my entire routine and have to try something like entirely new from what I'd been doing with homeschooling. I was worried that I wouldn't be able to adjust and figure out how to do school well in a new environment. And I was worried about having to do schoolwork in a classroom full of people rather than by myself. I was worried that that would be really difficult for me to figure that out. But when the first day of school came, I was still really excited, but then at the same time nervous. And so I kind of walked into the building, and I just was really busy. There was people everywhere just doing their own thing, and I just kind of immediately I felt like I was just kind of watching everything happen, and I wasn't really a part of the day or what was happening at all. And I just felt like, I feel the best way to describe this feeling is like when you're watching a movie and then you're watching all the characters on the screen are living the story, and then you're just the one sitting on the couch watching it happen. And that's kind of how I felt. I felt like the viewer, not the characters in the story. And so then I ended up meeting my friends, and they just kind of pulled me into the day with them, and I was no longer just the person sitting on the couch watching everything happen. I was now a part of the story, and I was one of the characters that was living the story. And so that was probably the first change that had happened to me, was getting to have new friends, and that was something that I was really excited for, and I was really glad that I got to meet them, because that was a really big part of why I wanted to change, was that I could meet new people. And then the other changes that came with changing schools, took me a little bit to get more used to that, from changing my entire routine. After being homeschooled for 7 years, it was really difficult to go from homeschooling to something entirely different. But after a few weeks, I figured that out, and and just being able to learn how to do my schoolwork in a classroom full of people, that was also difficult for me, but I figured that out as well. And so I'm really grateful that I got to experience both homeschooling and attending school every day here. I feel like homeschooling was really good for me for the time that I was there, but then when I was ready for the change, it was really good for me to switch it up, and I'm really glad that I got to experience being able to change my schooling. And there's always going to be things about homeschooling that I really miss. For example, group projects. I don't really like doing those very much, so I do miss homeschooling for that I wouldn't have to do that. But yeah, I think I'm really glad that I was able to experience